Giga iOS is moving forward. It is zapping on all electrons. The progress is going great. There isn't as much to see from the outside, but what we can see is very encouraging. And we're going to walk you through it. When I say we, of course, I mean Mark from the Tesla Life, joining me as he does to talk all things Giga iOS. Yes, iOS, because the render was posted upside down. I'm sure to some it says semi, but I'm not going to stand on my head to read a render. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. It is that time of the week, Mark. We have got iOS news. Zangler.
Man, updates galore.
Backa from Fishin'. Pay no mind to the fact that these don't have red lines under them. I have watched them all. I guess some of them in a different browser. Whole bunch of stuff. If you're new here, guys, what we do is at the end of this, we open it up to questions. If you have questions, ask them. You'll see timestamps where the questions are, but there are timestamps for all sorts of stuff. And I don't show the videos. I show the stills from the videos, because what I want you to do more than anything is head over there and like his videos and watch his videos, because he's working real hard for someone who's just retired. At the very least, we could show him some love.
Absolutely. Zangler deserves it.
Absolutely. Tesla Semi Factory, Big Dog Tesla, Semi plus action shots. He makes it sound exciting. And if you're watching this video, you would agree that it is. Right? So here we see a bunch of stuff getting moved in.
Those are speakers, right?
Yeah, that's a subwoofer. When Mythbusters wanted to make a giant subwoofer, like 4 feet across, rather than use a magnetic driver, they just attached it to the drive shaft and a gear system, so that it would all it has to do is move the air at low speeds. And,
that's inventive. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what we got to do is move the cone. Guys, what are we doing here? We also see there is HVAC equipment. We can see it getting configured, commissioned. The piping is going in to move, all of that. This is, right on schedule, what we wanted to see. Remind me, Mark, what does all this packaging mean?
Packaging is construction. That's what that means.
It means they're actually doing the work. And if we go out to, I don't know what those are. Desi, if you're watching, what on earth am I looking at? Pallets, weights, counterweights. Oh, those might be counterweights.
Yeah, counterweights
for the crane. Yeah, maybe. That's what I'm guessing. Bunch of stuff. And a peek inside.
Oh, the drone. People be swatting at that drone as it buzzes by. It's got to be careful.
So you think he's quite low, and relative to the grade of the factory he is, but he is off premise.
Right.
He is off site where the grade is much lower. His drone is still 100 feet in the air. It's just where he's at is not over the property, for one, and not over as low of ground.
And he's got a pretty good megapixel camera in that rig as well.
Huge shout out to Joe Tegmeyer for helping Zangler understand how to do this right, how to do it well, what kind of drone to have, all that. Joe Tegmeyer in Texas, the pilot who not just shoots Giga Texas, but explains it very well, is a huge resource to the community, and we love him. Do you know what this big red thing is here in the middle? That's a Giga press.
Oh, it's a press. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the trailer that brought it in, I'm assuming, then.
No, that trailer is much closer in the foreground. That is behind it.
Okay.
So that's yeah. And Desi, correct me if I'm wrong. I think this needs to be stood up on its side. I don't think that's the correct configuration, because these are pistons. On the roof, we can see the heat exchangers up there. Not sure how complete they are.
Configurations. Obviously, you got a lot of cooling required for a building of this size in the Nevada desert that gets hot sometimes. So, yeah, you're going to need a lot of cooling.
and cold at night in Reno, because you are in the high desert. It also can get in the winter.
You can get snow. Absolutely.
I went to Reno in the winter. I brought one pair of pants and the rest shorts, and I did not get to wear my shorts. So I was like,
you wore your shorts on the outside of your pants.
Yeah, it was chilly. I had only been to Reno in the summer, and it didn't occur to me that winter exists. What he also was able to catch was this, the big equipment showing up from Texas, completing its 3-week journey. Right. It's an oversized load. Look at the width of that load.
And look at the tractor trailers, each with counterweights on them, and one pushing with a push bar.
Yeah. It's not that you can't get it up to speed on flat ground. It's that flat part that we're really looking for. Zangler explained that you do have to take certain roads. You can't just take the shortest path. You have to get, I assume, all kinds of permits to move something of this size and weight. That's a lot of wheels. That's a lot of axles.
A lot of axles.
Yeah. And if you watch the video, please do. These wheels turn.
Makes it a lot easier to maneuver. When you've got all those axles being on their own turning radiuses.
He has another video where you can see them backing it into the factory, and you can see the wheels are turned in this one. And boy, I tell you, if you've ever tried to back up a trailer, now try one that's 100 feet long. Probably well over 100 feet. That's probably 120 foot. That's a long trailer is what I'm saying. And the video is 10 minutes long, and pretty much the whole thing is them trying to back it in over and over. It's hilarious. They get it. It's a nice little 96-point turn to get in.
Yeah. There's not a lot of room between that, the end of the road there and the rock wall that drops off.
That would be terrifying because there's all that weight behind you. And if you notice, they had some rain because this is typically
retention pond has some water in it. Definitely
has done its job, is what it's done. At the advice of Joe Tegmeyer, Zangler went out and did a dawn shoot, a sunrise shoot. Please like that video and this one, same price, where you can look in. And I'll tell you what I see here is a factory getting equipped.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on here, is that since the major construction on the outside has completed, it's not like things have slowed down. Everything's moved inside the walls.
Yeah. They've got a bunch of stuff over here. It looks kind of like a dumpster. They've got a bunch of crap over here. Kind of looks like porta potties. So that's
looks like that looks like a second floor above the.
Very possible that there's a mezzanine.
Looks like there's offices or rooms.
But you're so far away that it could just be looking down. Farther.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to say from this shot. I don't recall right now where the mezzanines are. But this place is getting outfitted. Yeah. And that was a criticism I had for Lucid when they built their factory, and Nikola when they built theirs. Is great. You put up the walls. Where's the equipment? Where's the stuff?
Yeah.
Because
we are drawing close to the end of the year. Here we are, mid-September. And we remember the last update on Giga iOS, and it was that they plan to be in a good amount of production by the end of the year.
Indeed. If we go out to here, we'll see something we did not expect to see: concrete rework.
Already,
no one is immune. For some reason, Texas had just endless concrete rework. Berlin had very little. And this is, as far as I'm aware, the first concrete rework in Nevada for Tesla. So
more to come.
More to come, probably. Here we are at the north end of the site, and we can see a bunch of stuff, bunch of trash. And if we get up by the Megachargers, we'll see some equipment is now in the spot where the Megachargers will be.
Okay. So getting a little closer to having those charge bays open up.
Please do. There's only, I think, 4 chargers at the main factory next door. They need some juice.
Yeah.
So that's something they will need to get addressed. And before we get to this week's questions, I had some other news about Semi. We are excited to partner with Uber Freight on this initiative to accelerate the adoption of semis across the supply chain. This program will help provide predictable growth and optimize utilization by matching carriers and shippers with lower cost EV freight options. This is from the official Tesla Semi account.
Okay.
And Uber Freight had said that they've launched it, so they're going to have subsidized.
And it's specific for EV freight, so it's providing shippers the ability to show their green by being able to move their loads on a low carbon footprint.
Isn't it wonderful to see? And then we've got this post from Nick Cruz Patain. Or Patane is how James Stevenson says it. I don't know which is correct. Feel free to correct me in the comments or leave a question or just say hello. Let me know how you're doing. I don't know. Here's how the program works. Uber Freight's dedicated EV fleet accelerator program provides fleets with a subsidized entry point paired with reliable demand. We saw all that. That means fleets purchasing the semis through this program will receive a subsidy on the purchase. Predictable growth. Fleets will integrate their Tesla semis into Uber Freight's, by the way, Uber Freight, what? A dedicated solution for shippers for a predetermined period. Creates an opportunity for carriers to forecast revenue with confidence while shippers gain consistent access to reliable, zero-emission capacity. Optimize utilization. Uber Freight taps into its extensive freight network to match carriers. And Tesla Insights, participating fleets can schedule dedicated sessions with Tesla to review technical details and total cost of ownership. So this is pretty exciting. What do you think?
This has been in the industry for a long time. In the U.S., there's DAT, which is a software package that matches trucks to loads. It just seems that Uber has added the component that now they're saying that this fleet is electrified. So you can tout that you as a shipper now have the ability to move your loads emissions free through a dedicated fleet of electrified vehicles.
So this has been around for a while, and you never told me why.
You never asked.
Hey, he got me there. He got me there. Okay. Well, it is that time. We're going to go into some questions here. You can, if you don't like this question, you can skip to the Q&A, skip to the timestamp at the bottom of the screen everywhere on YouTube, at least.
I got a question to put out to people asking questions. And that would be, what does DAT stand for? So look that up. Put that in the comments. Like to see that.
Yeah, digital audio tape. Easy. Done. Okay, so here we go. This is, you guys, you're gonna like it. Okay, that's good enough for me. This is last week's video. We were talking about Model Y sales crush fake news. It's apparently the title we went with. Lots of new Tesla Ys around my location. Ours is a great car with an amazing tool to help make driving safer under my watch. How hard is it for people to pay attention to your own driving? I cannot believe the misplaced hatred fed by questionable outlets.
Jim, you've got to be used to it by now. If you've been following Tesla for any length of time, man, the headlines are just misleading and they're clickbait. Yeah.
It's wild because other brands seem to get a pass while Tesla doesn't. And I know I get endless comments saying it's because other brands advertise. I've never found a correlation. I did a 3-month study of it last year, where I found no correlation. GM and Ford both spend $1 billion a year on advertising in the US alone, but GM headlines are substantially worse than Ford's, second worst only, ahead of Tesla. And SpaceX spends no money advertising and gets the second best headlines, while the companies in United Launch Alliance do spend money advertising. they get worse headlines. So, yeah. I'm not sure why everyone's thinking Model Y will be a real robotaxi in the future. I think these next few months are Tesla polishing up the software until the real Cybercab comes off the assembly line. Then all Model Ys will go away. What do you think?
I don't think Model Ys are going to go away. I think that they will be part of that fleet, but I do agree that there will be a push on the two-seater cybercabs, and those will come out because, of course, they're a cheaper car. They're specifically designed to be a cab, and they're going to be easier to clean, and they're going to be, again, the design is there to move two people with their luggage efficiently, and the Y will not be able to compete with that. But there still will be a place for the Y.
I think that customer sales will continue. Even after Cybercab is solved and any car can be a robotaxi, I think sales to people who wish to drive a car will continue indefinitely. Because while it's great to get this customer to pay you, $1,000 a month or $500 a month or whatever it may be, it's also nice to get 20-25% margins on vehicles you're just selling. And I believe Tesla would do that because they still sell the SX and, frankly, the Cybertruck, even though the volumes are not substantial. So I don't think the Model Y is going away just yet.
People are not completely switching to autonomous drive pickup and delivery of themselves. There are still going to be cars purchased for personal use.
Why did Robotaxi app start on iOS? Because Elon uses an iOS device. Those that believe Occam's razor, the simplest answer must be correct, vote for this one. Boop. I have voted for this one. For the cars that don't have mechanical linkage, can you turn on and off the steering wheel with software?
Correct, you can.
That's right.
That's something that can be done, and Tesla's toyed with that idea on several fronts about how to or what to have that happen. It's just that it is a tricky thing when there is an occupant in the vehicle that owns the vehicle, and you go into FSD. Certainly don't want to take away the physical link to the wheel for someone who owns the vehicle, maybe sitting in the driver's seat anyways.
Right. Because if they need to take control, they need to know where the wheel is in its radius.
Yeah.
But in the Cybertruck, when you're parked, the wheel does not do anything.
Yeah.
When you're charging and you want to play dune buggy racing, it doesn't rub your tires on the pavement.
Which is a good thing too. Yeah.
Which is also a good thing. Let's see. Cuber wants to know, I don't know about Android, but their myriad of models, most outside of Google's control, I imagine that it can be harder to code for Android than iOS, because iOS is very much sequential and Android is very much parallel with everyone making their own forks of it. That's a good question. I definitely don't know the answer to. How about you?
I would guess that would be correct because there are a lot of forks with the Android operating system because of the different hardwares out there.
Yeah, that's just our guesses, but Cuber, it sounds right to me. By the way, I don't know if you know, but his name is a lie. He can actually cube fairly quickly. He just is modest. I did ask him about that. He's like, "Oh, I'll show you sometime." I'm like, bring it to the next event. Could there be a lower cost Cybertruck coming with polymer panels like the Robotaxi instead of stainless? Or is the steel exoskeleton too much of a structure? We can answer the second question first. It is not too much of a structure.
Yeah, it's not. But are other panels coming for the vehicle? There's a possibility. There's a possibility, but man, that'd be speculative. I have no idea what the future plans are.
I like the idea of the polymer, of the composite panel, because it does need rigidity. If it's going to be big flat panels, you run into a concern with flopping in the wind. But I don't mind this idea at all. And if we could drop 500, 800 pounds off of it, I'd really like to see that happen. Yeah. And then you still don't need a paint shop because it's the same polymer that the Cybercab uses. So, I mean, I think you're onto something. I just don't know if they're going to. Where would Model Y be on that list if it was made up of quantity times sale price? So we were talking about the volume leaders. So if you were to measure it differently, instead of just sheer numbers, instead of how many steering wheels did you sell, but how many dollars did you sell in product or with profit?
Yeah, that would certainly be at the top of the list there, because it is comparing against other vehicles, not just electric, but other ICE vehicles that are far cheaper. So,
Yes.
so the profitability, the actual sale price, far higher when it comes to the Y.
Now, if you had asked me 3, 4 years ago, um, could Tesla Model Y be the most profitable model of car in the world? I'd have said, yeah, I mean, maybe. If you'd have said, would it have the highest, could it be the highest grossing car in the world? I'd have said, woof, well, yeah, maybe. But if you'd have told me that it was going to be number one, out competing cars that cost $5,000, I don't think I would have given it very high odds.
Yeah.
So James, Mr. Spackbell, I think this is a very valid point. Half-hearted reskin, LOL. Admittedly, steer-by-wire would have been nice. I would like to have proportional steering, variable ratio steering, even more so on the stockless 3. I don't know if you've had a chance, Mark, to drive the Cybertruck. That variable steering is wonderful.
Yep, it is.
I would love to see that come. I think we need 48 volt first. It does not appear that suppliers are quite there. Can't we have a Cyber Range? I think that's a autocorrect error. Made from aluminum. We don't need bulletproof. Would it make it cheaper to produce and more efficient? Aluminum's tricky to work with. So I don't know if they would go aluminum, but I think the answer from before about the polymer, the composite,
the weight loss would be a positive.
The weight loss would be a positive, and aluminum definitely costs less than stainless. And it's easier to work with. Stainless chews up your tools. It is real rough. When I worked in a metal fab, I worked almost exclusively with aluminum, sometimes steel, and very rarely stainless steel. And it was a bear. It was real. It was a whole lot of no fun at all to work with because it was so because
rigid,
it just
rigid and unforgiving.
So I would sand the grain into flat panels, and with aluminum you run it through 2, maybe 3 times. With steel you might have to run it through 4 or 5 times. With stainless you'd run it through twice and it would be so hot you couldn't touch it. And you might have to run it through 10, 15 times to get it to hold the grain. It was just, it was a lot of work. It was no fun. Why did the chicken cross the road? Because the FSD stopped for it. Could Wired, instead of saying that the Model Y bombed, maybe they meant Model Y is the bomb?
There you
I like
go.
Mark's idea to send the Wired writer a dictionary. I'm going to disagree with both of you, Mark and Cuber, because first they'd have to know how to read.
Oh,
I'm kidding, Wired, but when you write articles that bad, your literacy is absolutely in question. Joe's Morgue says, I have problems with my phone not wanting to let me drive, but I have to sometimes open up the app and have it flash the not lights, and it's still not enough. I don't know. I've not had that problem. That might be your phone. That might be your car. I don't know. I don't know on that one. Have you heard anything about that?
I'm an Apple user, so I really don't know.
Yeah, I'm an Android user. I haven't had a problem. So, but you know how electronics are these days. You can take it to the service center and then it'll work just fine. Oh, for crying out loud. Is it safe?
If there's a problem, you try to show it. That's when it works.
Is it safe to be around a Tesla in Portland?
No.
Why?
It's Portland. You're not safe anywhere, right?
Yeah, the whole city's still on fire. No, it's absolutely safe. I go to Portland about once a week for shopping or meetings or whatever it may be. And I've never thought twice about driving in Portland with a Tesla. And this is the West Coast. Teslas are very common. EVs are very common. I think Oregon is at like 14% EV adoption as of last year, and most of those are Teslas. So no, if somebody wanted to target Teslas, they'd have too many targets. Yeah. Why did you go to Nepal, Brian?
I know why.
Yeah, why?
Because the price to go to Detroit was much more.
I would have gone to Colorado, but the air was too thin. Because Nepal went from single digit EV adoption to 76% in about 5 years. And that is news. I wanted to find out why. I wanted to find out how. I wanted to get all the information. And since my editor's there, I had fantastic ground support, which made it easy to get the interviews lined up, the showroom visits lined up, the auto show access that I needed to get in on opening day and get to within 10 feet of the now former prime minister, which is very exciting, less exciting now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And I think we had, maybe Elon's going to buy Apple. I don't think so.
Don't think that's on the docket.
I am not, but Tim did add haha, which is, we joke around. Guys, if you have questions, you are welcome to ask them below. We clearly will answer them because we are a little bit loco. Yeah. And if you're not having enough fun doing that, head over to Mark's channel, The Tesla Life. Link in the description. They do fantastic work. I have not met Casey in person yet. That may be remedied in March in Chattanooga. I'm working on it. Everybody else, like, subscribe, do what you got to do. Stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots on the next one.